Picture one man walking toward a corner flag. The stadium is roaring so loudly it almost feels physical. But the stranger part is not inside the stadium, it is everywhere else. In Buenos Aires, someone is standing in front of a television with both hands on their head. In Tokyo, someone is watching on a phone in the middle of the night. In London, in Bangkok, in New York, in a train station, in a bar, under a desk at work, people are staring at the same small figure in a blue and white shirt. Everyone knows he is older now. Everyone knows the clock is no longer on his side. And everyone is asking the same question. Is this the last time? This is the story of Lionel Messi at the 2026 World Cup. Not just the story of a footballer who is still unbelievably good. It is the story of a planet watching the final grains of sand fall through the hourglass of a legend. The 2026 World Cup is bigger than any World Cup before it. It stretches across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. It has more teams, more cities, more money, more politics, more noise, and more arguments. Yet in the middle of all that size, one name still pulls the world back into focus: Messi. Whether he scores or not, whether Argentina play beautifully or survive awkwardly, whether people love them or start to resent them, the world keeps watching. Why? Why can one man who has already won almost everything football can offer still make hundreds of millions of people stop what they are doing? The first answer is simple. Messi is not only a player anymore, he is a shared memory. If you remember the 2006 World Cup, you may remember a young Argentine with long hair, a small body, and feet that seemed to think half a second faster than everyone else. If you grew up with Barcelona, you may remember him moving through defenders as if the pitch had opened a private path just for him. If you watched the 2014 World Cup final, you may remember his face after Argentina lost to Germany. It was the face of a man who had stood one step from immortality and still could not touch it. And if you watched the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, you remember the night everything changed. Messi lifted the trophy. For many people, it felt like a story that had lasted 16 years had finally closed. Normally, that is where a legend ends. The hero wins, the music rises, the screen fades to black. But real life is not edited that neatly. 4 years later, he is still here. That is what gives the 2026 World Cup its strange power. This is no longer Messi chasing his first world title. This is the world watching to see whether a story that already had a perfect ending can somehow write one more page. That changes the way people look at him. With a young star, we watch because we want to see the future. With a player at his peak, we watch because we want to see greatness in full force. With Messi now, we watch because we are afraid to miss the final chapter. That fear is powerful. Human beings value things differently when they are about to disappear. One photograph becomes heavier when it might be the last photograph. A farewell concert feels larger than an ordinary concert. And a World Cup match that might be Messi's last makes even a quiet touch feel important. He walks, he waits, he looks for a pass. He does not move like the player he was at 25. But people watch even harder now, because we are not only watching athletic movement, we are watching time work on a human body. That is why this story feels closer than football. Everyone gets older. Everyone has a version of themselves that once moved faster, recovered quicker, dared more easily. Watching Messi late in his career is not just watching a football match. It is watching one person negotiate with time on behalf of all of us. But the 2026 World Cup has not made this story purely beautiful. It has made it complicated. Argentina entered the tournament as defending champions. That means they are no longer the romantic underdogs chasing a dream. They are the team everyone wants to knock down. Every close decision becomes evidence. Every referee call becomes a debate. Every slow-motion replay becomes a courtroom on social media. And when Messi stands at the center of it, everything becomes louder. For some people, Messi is the reason they want Argentina to continue. For others, Messi is the reason they begin to wonder whether world football wants this story to end too perfectly. Argentina have already lived on the edge in the knockout rounds. Against Egypt, they reportedly came from 2 goals down in one of the most talked about moments of the tournament. That match became a global search event because people were not only asking who won, they were asking what had just happened. What did Messi do? What did the referee decide? How did Argentina survive? That is what a legend becomes in the internet age. In the past, people watched legends through television. Now they watch them through layers of screens: the live broadcast, the highlight clip, the tactical thread, the comment section, the statistics page, the argument that never ends about whether the thing they just saw was magic or injustice. Then came Switzerland in the quarterfinal. That match was not easy either. Alexis McAllister headed Argentina in front from a Messi corner. Switzerland equalized. The game went into extra time. In the end, Julian Alvarez scored in the 112th minute, and Lautaro Martinez finished the game late. Argentina won 3-1 and reached the semifinals. But the interesting detail is that Messi did not score. His scoring run stopped, and still the world talked about him. That is what Messi different. Most players need a goal to remain the center of the story. Messi can fail to score and still remain the gravity of the story. He takes the corner. He draws defenders. He makes opponents think one beat slower. He gives cameras somewhere to look when the game pauses. He makes people believe something can still happen as long as number 10 is on the pitch. That is not only skill, it is narrative gravity. Some athletes do not merely play inside a game. They become the center around which the game is interpreted. Michael Jordan had it. Serena Williams had it. Usain Bolt had it. Messi has it in a quieter form. He does not need to speak loudly. He does not need to act larger than the sport. The sport somehow feels larger when he is inside it. That is why even people who do not watch football every week understand that Messi matters. The world does not only remember goals, it remembers the feeling of waiting for one. But there is another side to this. The prettier a story becomes, the more suspicious people become of it. At this World Cup, Argentina are not seen only as heroes. Some fans and analysts have started to describe them as a team people love and resent at the same time. The more they survive tight matches, the more disputed decisions follow them. The more Messi appears to be walking toward one last heroic ending, the more some people ask an uncomfortable question. Is football letting a legend continue because he deserves to continue, or because the world wants a fairy tale ending? That question may be unfair to Messi. He does not control referees. He does not control VAR. He does not control what fans say online. But legends that grow too large often carry things they did not create.
But legends that grow too large often carry things they did not create. That is the price of becoming the center of the world. If he wins, people call it destiny. If he loses, people call it the end of an era. If a big moment goes Argentina's way, people say the story is pulling him forward. If a big moment goes against them, people say the legend is being tested. Whatever happens, it gets translated back into Messi. And maybe that is the deepest reason the world is still watching. He is not just a player in the match. He has become the language people use to understand the match. If Argentina win, it is the story of a legend refusing to end. If Argentina lose, it is the story of time finally catching everyone. And now Argentina are set to face England in the semifinal. That makes the story even heavier. Argentina against England is not an ordinary World Cup fixture. It carries the shadow of 1986. It carries Diego Maradona. It carries one of the most beautiful goals in football history and one of the most debated. Decades have passed. Football has changed. Technology has changed. The world has changed. But when Argentina meet England at a World Cup, many people still hear history running behind the game. And now the man standing in the middle is Messi. He is like Maradona and unlike him at the same time. Like him, he is a small Argentine genius carrying the dream of a nation. Unlike him, he is quieter, softer, less theatrical, and often seems to run from myth rather than toward it. But in the end, he cannot escape it. Football loves symbols, and the strongest symbol right now is an aging number 10 in blue and white walking into another enormous match against England. Screenwriters would struggle to make it feel believable. Football produced it by accident. Still, what makes this worth watching is not only whether Messi wins or loses, it is how he continues to matter even when his body is no longer the same. Young players win with speed. Players at their peak win with power. Older players have to win with selection. When to run, when to wait, when to risk, when to do nothing, because doing nothing saves the energy for the one thing that matters. This is a different Messi. He does not always speed the game up. Sometimes he slows it down. He holds the rhythm. He stands in spaces opponents are afraid to leave free. He forces defenders to choose between closing him down and opening space behind them, or giving him time to think.
To a casual viewer, it can look like walking. To a defender, it is a moving problem. And to anyone who has followed him for years, it is a little sad, because we can see the magic and the limits inside the same person. We know he can still do things others cannot. We also know he can do them less often now. That makes every moment heavier. This is the beauty of the final stretch, not perfection, fragility that can still produce wonder. So if you ask why the whole world still watches Messi, the answer is not simply that he is still the best player every second of every match. The answer is that every second might become the last piece of evidence. Evidence that greatness was real. Evidence that time has not won yet. Evidence that an ending can be beautiful, cruel, or completely unpredictable. And deep down, we are not only watching him, we are watching ourselves. We want to believe ability does not disappear easily. We want to believe experience can still beat freshness. We want to believe that someone who made us feel wonder when we were younger can still make us feel it one more time. That is why Messi still holds the world in front of a screen. He is the past refusing to become only the past. He is the present, moving slower, but making hearts beat faster. And he is a future we already know will not include him forever. The 2026 World Cup may end with another trophy. It may end with tears. It may end with arguments about referees. It may end with Messi walking quietly off the pitch without needing to say anything at all. But whatever the ending is, the reason people are still watching is clear. Sometimes sport is not most powerful when a young player runs fast. Sometimes it is most powerful when a legend tries to outrun his own time. At the beginning, we saw one man walking toward a corner flag. Now we understand that what the world is staring at may not be the ball. It may be the time he has left.